Welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday. We're going to finish this week out with some origami, and more importantly, this weekend, Sunday, we have Mother's Day. So I'm going to show you guys some origami gift ideas that you can make. So here we go. Got a piece of paper. Again, for most origami, we're going to need a square of paper. If you don't know how to make your paper into a square, I've got a bunch of other videos that can show you how to do that. The past couple videos I've showed you how. So we're going to start with our square today, and we're going to start with making a simple origami fish. When I say simple, I mean really simple. The turtle was pretty complicated, so we're going to try to make things a little bit easier for those who might not have been able to make the turtle. So, square of paper, let's start. We're going to fold our paper in half, corner to corner, to make a triangle. Crease. Good to go. Again, all of our creases we want to get super nice and tight, so I'm going to use something round and hard. Pencil, color pencil, marker, glue stick if you got one, anything like that'll work. You can use your fingernails too. So we've got corner to corner. Excellent. I'm going to go other corner to other corner. There we go. Awesome. And I'm going to open that back up. I've got a square that looks like there's an X through it. What I'm going to do next is flip my paper over to the other side. And I'm going to fold my paper in half, kind of the normal way. Instead of corner to corner, I'll go side to side. Get that nice and lined up. There we go. Crease, crease. Okay. Open that back up, and then I'll go top to bottom. So at this point, we folded all sides to all sides and all corners to all corners, pretty much. Crease, score. I think I might have forgot to score the last one, so I'll go ahead and do that. Luckily, it remembers just how to fold. Score that. Okay. So next, what I'm going to do is flip my paper over again, back to the first side I was on. And I'm going to fold the two sides in and down like this. If it bunches up in the middle, which it might do, you might have to work with it a little bit. So sides in, down to the bottom. And then I'll flatten out this top part. Should give you a triangle. Now that's a little bit tricky if you don't know how to do it. So I'll open it back up and show it one more time. So these two sides are going to line up perfectly. This side lines up at the bottom, this side lines up at the bottom, and then we kind of pull everything in. Now this top part definitely might kind of bunch up at first. You just got to push it flat. Okay, we'll score everything down really good. And believe it or not, we're almost finished. I told you this was a really simple fish. All right, so what I'm going to do next is turn it this way. I can see each flap has two. There's one on the top, one on the bottom. So for these next folds, I'm just going to use the flaps on top. I'm not going to fold the bottom piece. All right, so speaking of which, let's take the top one. We're going to fold this down. Now, exactly how far you make it is kind of up to you. But the way I want to do it is get it so it's about even this line above the half and this line below the half. It's not an exact science. Maybe something like that looks pretty good, where it looks like there's about the same amount of space on the top as there is in the bottom, if that makes any sense. That triangle is the same size as this triangle. That's pretty good. Crease, score. Cool. All right, next step, I'm going to take this bottom flap, just the one up on the top. I'm not folding that one underneath. So this is going to go up and just kind of right over top of the one I just did. Looks okay. Let's crease that down. Let's get everything nice and creased down. You're done. You've done it. Flip it over. There's your super simple origami fish. There we go. Should we give our fish a smile? Yeah. Maybe something like that. Don't put teeth on, though. Fish with teeth are creepy. So there we go. We got a fish. I could decorate the fins and stuff like that. Hey, you can decorate it any way you want. Super, super easy origami fish. Anybody can make that one. I'm going to show you how to make another fish, a little more complex. I like this one a little bit more, but it's a little trickier. It's still something I think you can manage. So my first fish is going to swim off onto my floor. Let's do our second one. New piece of paper, again, already a square. If you need to know how to make a rectangle into a square, go check out my old videos. The one with the box, the one with the turtle. I think we did that in both of them. Anyway, so here we are. And we're going to start, this one's a little weird because we're going to start by folding not the entire paper, but just the edge of it. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move this edge to here, folding it in half, side to side, not corner to corner. But I'm not actually going to crease it yet. And when I go, once I've got my corners lined up, when I go to crease, I'm not actually going to crease it in the middle. I'm just going to crease those top and bottom sides. So up here and down here. And honestly, if you do go ahead and crease the whole thing, it doesn't super matter. It just turns out a little better if you don't. It's more flat on the front instead of all folded up. Okay, so I've creased just the top and the bottom. There we go. We can see that crease here and here. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing the other way. Fold it like this. Let's get my corners lined up. We got it? Yep. And yep. Good as I can get them. Hold down tight. And I'm going to crease again. Not all the way across. Just kind of the top and the bottom. Okay. Cool. There we go. Now, again, just to make these creases really noticeable, you don't have to do this step. I'm just going to add a little line here where you can see these creases. And I still folded it. Even though I didn't crease or score it, you can still see those lines in the middle. That's fine. We end up with something kind of like that. Cool. All right, next step. What I'm going to do is fold this side so it lines up with the middle where those creases were. What am I checking? I'm checking the top to make sure it's lined up right at the top, and I'm checking the bottom to make sure it's lined up right at the bottom. That looks good. And this time I am going to go ahead and crease the entire thing. And I'll score that too. Cool. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Side goes right to the middle. Get our corners lined up. Yep, looks good. If you've done it right, those two folds should line up just about perfect in the middle. I'll crease that down and I'll score that down. Okay. Guess I might as well highlight these again while I'm at it. Okay. So we've got almost like a closed scroll looking thing. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open this back up. We can see these nice distinct creases here now. Okay. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, which means one turn like that. I'm going to do the same thing again, sides in to the middle. So side to here, line up the top, line up the bottom, right on that crease. That's looking good. Fold it, crease it, score it. Perfect. Same thing with the other side. Right to the middle. Get everything lined up how we want it. Again, that middle fold should line up pretty perfectly if you've got it the way you should. Crease and score. And again, I'll go ahead and highlight these just so y'all can see them a little bit better. So that's the middle section. All right, when we open this thing up, we've got what looks kind of grid-like. We have a bunch of folds going left to right. We have a bunch of folds going up to down. All right, our next part, what we're going to do is fold corner to corner, but just like we did the first time, we're not actually going to crease all the way across. We're just going to kind of crease it on the side. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to turn this guy like a diamond. I'm going to take the bottom of my diamond up to the top, line up perfect. There we go. Hold down real tight with one hand, and instead of creasing to the middle first like I normally do, I'm just going to crease over here on the sides. So straight across there, straight across here. If you're not exactly sure how far to crease, You can crease a little bit past this little crease line we have right here. So something like that looks good. Something like that looks good. And again, if you go all the way across, it's not going to hurt anything. It'll still work fine. It just looks a little bit better if you leave the middle kind of not creased on this one. All right, creased and scored. Awesome. Let's open that back up. Cool. We've got our corner folds here. So let's go ahead and turn it 90 degrees again. Now I'm going to take the bottom back up to the top. These are the ones I just folded a moment ago. Bottom goes to top. We can see that crease right there. Hold down tight. And again, I'm only going to crease over on the sides for this one. Hold down tight. Crease over on the side. I'm leaving this kind of big diamond in the middle empty. I'll have to excuse the sirens. I live really close to the fire station, so there's sirens like all the time at my house. Anytime the fire trucks go out. Okay, we'll open it back up. We've got something that looks like that. Cool. Next step is I'm going to go ahead and fold the side back to the middle. And it already knows how to do this because I already did this once. Okay. There we go. And that won't stay all the way shut. That's fine. Let's turn it like this. And here we go. This one is a little bit tricky. So let's see if I can show it in a way that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is open this up. You notice I'm holding this side kind of flat here. And what I want to do is fold it. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to highlight. I'm going to fold it so this line and this line are going to line up here, there, and this line is going to line up here. So I'm going to have to kind of twist. Ooh, I should have always been using Sharpie because it goes through the paper and you can see it. All right, so let's get that lined up really well. Good. And you see this square that I have right here is going to kind of fold into a triangle. Okay. Once that's lined up really well, I can go ahead and crease this square right here. And at this point, this paper's sticking up in the air. That's fine. Let's do the same thing down here. I'm going to fold this down. Line up that little fold. Crease. And again, this is almost coming up like a box now. All we're going to do for the next step is take the side of this box. When I say like a box, you can see how it's sticking up. Kind of like the origami box we made. I'm going to take this whole thing and just close it down. Perfect. And if you've done it right, you're going to have something that looks a little bit like a house with a long roof and a flat top. Okay. So there we go. Now at this point, I'm just going to do the exact same thing with the other side. So same exact thing I did last time. Again, just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and highlight these parts that are going to be folded. So this line's going to go to here, and this fold right here is going to be lined up right there. So it'll look just like the other side we just did, same exact thing again. So fold, line up, crease, fold, line up, crease. There we go, and I can just take the whole thing and kind of close it down. Cool. Now at this point, we have what I oftentimes hear people call a crystal looking shape. It's a hexagon, 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got this kind of hexagon shape, which is exactly what we want. If yours looks kind of like that crystal hexagon, you're doing good. All right, next step. We are going to turn this way. All right. I'm going to take this little triangle flap right here, and I'm going to fold it so this side lines up right here to the middle. So this fold is going to go right on top of that. I'll fold this whole thing down. Increase. Cool. And I'm going to do the same thing here. There we go. Ends up looking something like that. So this point almost looks like, well, not like a house anymore. What would this look like? If we turn it this way, kind of looks like a sailboat or something with two sails. This way, almost like a person's face with a hat on or something. I don't know. Anyway, to review, these folds just came down here like that and like that. All right. Next, this is kind of a weird one. I'm going to take this corner right here and fold it up to here. But there's kind of a lot of paper, so we're going to see what that does. So this corner here, right up to the middle. And again, we have this other piece under there. I'm going to show you what to do with that in just a moment. All right, so right at the center, I'll crease, score, and then we have this extra little flap here, right? I'm just going to take that flap and push it back over to that way. We end up with this almost blocky Pac-Man looking shape. I don't know what you'd call that, a square Pac-Man. There we go. Crease it down. So again, in case you missed it, we started like this. This corner is going up to here, and then this triangle comes back that way. Excellent. Perfect. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this side, just the opposite way. So that means this corner comes up to here first. So I'll fold this corner up to here. My paper's starting to bunch a little bit there. That's okay. Let's crease it down, and then I'm going to take this triangle. You got to be careful because it's actually two triangles now, because I had one right there and one right here. So just that top triangle is going to go back the other way, like that, and crease that whole thing down. There you go. Okay, next, we're going to do a fold very much like a paper airplane, where we take this corner to here and this corner to here. So let's start with this one. This corner is going to come right to the center. So down. That's lined up right in the center. Crease. And then again, we have a little leftover triangle right there. Just leave it right there. You're good to go. And this corner, down to the middle too. So, paper's starting to bunch up a little bit. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Let's crease it down. And at this point from this view, we have something that looks almost like a house shape, but it's split up into a bunch of triangles. We're going to turn it over. There's our fish. Perfect. So that one's a little bit more complicated than the other fish we made. There's one I went ahead and decorated. Obviously, you can decorate yours however you'd like. So we got our fish. We got our turtle that we made last time, if you were able to make that. And this gave me an idea for something I could do for like a Mother's Day gift. So what I'm going to show you next is a couple things you can do if you want to do some gifts for your mother or your grandmother, or really anyone in your life who you think deserves a gift on Mother's Day. So there we go. Let's take these little guys, set them aside for now. I've got another, I'm dropping paper everywhere. I've got another just square of paper. Again, if you have origami paper, hey, use origami. I actually found a bunch of origami paper. I thought I had construction paper. It wasn't construction paper. It was origami paper. So I've had origami paper this whole time, and I've been using just regular paper. Oops. Anyway, why mess with success? All right, so we've got a square of paper. What I'm going to show you now is how to make a simple heart. This one is really, really easy. And again, this could be good for Mother's Day. So corner to corner first. Crease. That made a straight up whistle. I don't know even how that happened. As I'm smoothing the paper out, made a whistle, not a squeak. That was a whistle. Crease. Good to go. Cool. Let's open that back up. We've got our crease in the middle, and I'll just go ahead and fold it the other way. There we go. So at this point, we have creased corner to corner both ways. So again, if you open it up, You got what looks like a kite. If we turn it this way, it's an X with a square through it. Cool. Next, I'm going to fold the top of my diamond right here down right to the very center. Top, down to center, and crease. All right, looks good. Now I'm going to take my bottom and fold it not to the center, but actually all the way up to the top. Again, make sure that your folds line up really nice and straight. So that fold right there should be perfectly on top of that one right there. All the way to the top. There we go. Crease, crease. We get something that looks like that. So again, that step, the top came down to the center point, then the bottom point came up to the top. Just like that. Okay. All right, next step. I'm going to fold this side right here so it goes right to the center line right here. So this side up to the center point. If you've done it right, this point should line up perfectly with that little top point right there that we just did. So like that. Crease. There we go. Same thing here. This point is going to go right to here. I'm going to fold this up. And you can see it's starting to become kind of heart-shaped. It looks like a very pointy heart right now. We're going to fix that in a minute. Score, 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 crease, crease. Okay, so we're going to take this pointy heart and we're just going to tweak a couple of things on it to make it look more like a regular heart shape. So if I flip over, I'm going to take these top points and just fold them down to that line right there where the paper stops. Cool. Same thing here. Okay. Got it. And now I want these corners to kind of go away. So I'll actually kind of draw a line right where I'm going to fold it. I'm going to start right where that piece of paper meets this piece of paper. Right there. And just go straight down. So that helps you kind of visualize where I'm about to fold. So this will just fold in. Good. Score. And this will just fold in. Like that. And score. Score, score. Cool. When I flip it over, origami heart. There you go. So, last thing I'm going to show you today. Again, that would make a good Mother's Day present. You can decorate it however you want. Last thing I'm going to show you today is how to make a heart envelope. Yeah, and it's going to be this style of heart, but kind of built into an envelope. Now, for this one, we are going to need some sort of way to glue it, glue stick, glue, something like that. Guess you could use tape, but point being, you'll need something like glue that will stick something down. All right, so got my glue stick right here, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So there's the regular origami heart. Let's make the origami heart envelope. So for this one, for the heart envelope, you're actually going to need a rectangle of paper. So again, a regular piece of computer paper is going to do you just fine. Let's adjust the view a little bit so we can see better. Cool. Okay. So we're going to start with a rectangle this time. And it's going to look like we're doing that thing where we try to make a rectangle into a square, but stay with me. So corner up to here. We've done this like tons of times this week. Corner goes up to here. Line up. Before I crease this down, I want to make sure that's actually a point. And right now it's not. So I need to move it a little bit this way. That's too far. It's still not a point. Let's move it back. There we go. That's looking like a point. Is this lined up? Not quite. There we go. Okay. Once we've got that how we want it, crease, crease, crease. And again, if I were to just cut right here, what I have left over would be a perfect square of paper. Cool. But I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to take this square and I'm going to fold it over this way. Give it a crease. Open it up. There we go. So literally all I just did is fold where I'd normally cut if I wanted to make this a square. I don't want to make it a square. I want it to stay a rectangle. Cool. Let's open this guy up. There we go. Another whistle from my paper. All right. So we have a fold here. We have a diagonal fold here. And we've got the top of our paper. So what I'm going to do is take the top of my paper and fold it down to this straight horizontal fold that I just made. Get that lined up just how we want it. Crease, 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 and score. All right, so again, to review, we just took the top and folded it right down to this horizontal fold we made a moment ago. Good. Okay, open it back up. We have something that looks like this. Next, I'm going to take the top and fold it down to the fold I just made. Top, bending down to the fold that I just made. Right here. Get it lined up right. Perfect. Crease. Ooh. Got a little bump in that crease there. Score. Cool. Now we're not actually going to open this one back up. Instead, what we're going to do is turn the whole paper over to the other side. Like that. And once we're on the other side, we're going to fold this in half. So this side comes over to meet that one. This side comes over to meet this one. So let's get those corners nice and lined up. Uh-oh, I'm losing it. There we go. Crease. And score. Okay, not bad. We're going to open this back up to the side we just had. So everything's flat. There's a flap folded behind there, but we're just on the flat side right now. Okay, next we're going to take these corners to the middle, just like when you start making a paper airplane. Same fold. So this corner comes down to the middle, right on the line. Line it up straight. Crease. Score. There you go. At this point, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Come down to the middle. Do we have it? We have it. Crease and score. All right, and we've got this kind of house shape thing. Good. All right, let's flip this whole thing over again to the back. Good. We see this little triangle shape at the top of our roof here. That's exactly what we want. I'm going to take this and fold it down to where this point meets this point. We had that fold from earlier that goes left to right, and we have our center fold that goes top to bottom. So the top point is going to come down right to that point. There we go. Make sure your folds line up straight. That's not it. That's not it. You got to line them up perfectly straight like that, right at that point. And actually, it's a little hard for me to see. I'm going to trace it. There's the bullseye. There's the target we're going for. Yep. Perfect. Crease, 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 crease. That becomes flat on the top. Let's score it, score it, score it, score it. All right. We got something that looks like that. Nice. Let's flip over to the back again. All right, now at the back, we see these two weird, little rectangle flaps. We're about to fold those out and up. This is the only kind of tricky fold on this one, and it's really not tricky at all. All you got to do is put your finger in there, open that up, and you see that naturally is going to point up toward the sky when you open that up. I'm just going to flatten it down so it's even with the top of my paper right here. Cool. Again, if you missed that, or if my camera's changing colors and you can't see, we started with the rectangle. We just open it up and then press that down flat. Good. And we can crease. All right, same exact thing on the other side. So I'll open this side up. There's that little point. I'm going to flatten it down so it lines up straight with that. Increase. There we go. Looks almost like a little bow tie in the middle right now. Okay, next. These extra leftover little squares. We've got one here, and we've got one here. I'm going to take this extra leftover little square and fold that corner right here to the middle. There we go. Makes a little kind of triangle shape on top. Same thing on this side. All right. Crease, 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 crease. Cool. Now this is actually going to turn into the top part of our heart. So we don't want it pointy, just like the other origami heart we made. We don't want it pointy. So what I'm going to do is take these points right down to the middle, increase down. Cool. Take this point right down to the middle of that kite shape, increase down. Score them up real good. All right, we're going to flip the whole thing up to the other side again. So flip it to the other side. Cool, we've got our heart shape in the middle, and that's going to be like where the envelope will close. All we need to do is make the sides and the bottom of the envelope. So for the sides, essentially, I'm going to fold this side so it lines up right here. I'll kind of sketch where that fold's going to go. So this side is just going to fold over right to there. This side is going to fold over about to there. How do I know how far to fold? Easy. It's just going to make that little corner, right? So it'll kind of line up straight. Let's fold. And again, you can see it'll make a little box in the corner. That's exactly how you want it. Good. Crease, crease, crease. All the way down. Perfect. So we took that. We folded it like that. Awesome. Got it. Same thing on this side. This is going to fold over. How do I know how far to go? This little diagonal line is going to line up just how you need it. So let's see, something like that. Does it line up at the bottom? Yes, it does. Okay. There you go, easy. So again, all we do is take this, fold it over like that. All right, next, we still have this long fold going across the middle. What I'm going to do is flip that long fold up and give it another little crease. And this is the part where you'll need to glue to finish your envelope. So this is going to be the top part. That's going to go underneath like that. But to make it stick together, we're going to need a glue, or you could like tape up the sides. You could put some tape right there. That'd work. I'm going to go ahead and glue mine. And so I'll show you where I'm going to put the glue. Pretty much where I'm shading, that's where I'm going to put my glue. Again, if you want to tape it, you could just tape it right on the sides. It'd be fine. Glue stick. Hadn't heard that sound in a while. Man, the pop of the glue stick opening. Used to hear that all the time. Hadn't heard that one in a minute. You know what? I'm not trying to get glue all over my table, so I'll give myself a little placemat. I'm going to glue right in the shaded area. Cool. Glue right in the shaded area. Thank you, placemat. And I'm just going to fold this up. Remember, we want the heart on the outside, so I need to tuck it under the heart. Glue, 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 glue. Cool. Little heart envelope. Look at that. You could put a note to your mother inside. You could give it to her for Mother's Day. Awesome. In fact, I've actually kind of combined all of these past couple origamis that I've been working on, and I made something for my mom. So I did a box top, and I decorated it with like little gift wrap. Cool. I did a box bottom, and I decorated it kind of like a little aquarium. I added some seaweed and some bubbles in there. I cut a little piece of brown paper to put in there. So here's my little aquarium or ocean. Look, there's my little turtle. He fits right in the box. Now to make him fit, I actually had to use big paper to make the box big enough. So I did have to find some bigger paper than a regular sheet of paper. I used like one of those big sheets of construction paper we use in art class a lot. But now my turtle fits right in there. My fish. And again, if you couldn't make the complicated fish, I know you can make that easy one I showed you today. I'll put my little fish in there in the aquarium. Cool, cool. I made a little heart envelope that I decorated. Put a note from my mom in there. Again, I used a smaller piece of paper on that because I wanted the envelope to fit in. And look at that. I got myself a Mother's Day gift from my mom. So shout out Tina Gully if you're watching this. I love you. And you got a Mother's Day gift coming your way with some turtles and fish and a little note for you. There you go. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you have a great Mother's Day. And I'll see you guys next week. Later.